Hello everyone, I am Archit Garg from class 9th Bhatnagar International School, Vasant Kunj.
I'm Abhijit Anand from class 9C of Bhatnagar International School.
And this is our project, Aid AI.
The patient-to-doctor ratio is increasing day by day, which has forced doctors to work for long hours, which in turn increases their workload. WHO recommends one doctor for 1,000 patients, but in India there is only one doctor for 11,082 patients.
These days, the stress on doctors has increased exponentially. One study found that 28% of doctors experience above threshold levels of stress, compared to 18% of the general population who report this level of stress on the job.
This is a real-life example of how patients are affected by this.
Santi does not have an easy life. It's made more difficult because she has diabetes, which is affecting her vision.
கண்ணு வலி இருந்துச்சு போய் ஆஸ்பத்திரி இங்கே அலங்காநல்லூர் ஆஸ்பத்திரிக்கு அதில் வலி தலை வலி இருந்தது.
If Santi does not get medical help soon, eventually she may go blind.
Diabetic retinopathy is a condition which affects people with diabetes. In the early stages, it's symptomless, but that's when it's treatable. So you want to screen them early on before they actually lose vision. In the early stages, if a doctor is examining the eye or you take a picture of the back of the eye, you will see lots of those bleeding spots in the retina. Today, the doctors are not enough to do the screening. We have very limited ophthalmologists, so there should be other ways where you can screen the diabetic patients for the diabetic complications.
In the US, there are about 74 eye doctors for every million people. In India, there are only 11. So just keeping up with the sheer number of patients, let alone giving them the attention and care they need, is overwhelming, if not impossible.
Considering the problems shown above, we thought how could we help, and hence we created Aid AI.
Aid AI is not a fully developed solution, but instead is a step towards a solution. This is not to undermine the doctor's skills or knowledge, it is just meant to fasten the process.
Aid AI is a website on which a patient can get diagnosed by uploading their scans. Currently, it can detect a total of 8 diseases, which include lung cancer, diabetic retinopathy, tuberculosis, pneumonia, breast cancer, brain tumor, COVID-19, Parkinson's, etc. We are using image classification to detect pattern in images. We have trained the AI model to classify between healthy and scans which contain infections.
This is Aid AI, the artificially intelligent health assistant. This is the first page of our website. Now let's explore it more. What can Aid AI detect? It can detect lung cancer, both malignant cases and benign cases. It can also detect diabetic retinopathy from stage 1 to stage 4. It can detect tuberculosis, which requires the user to upload their X-ray scans. It can also detect pneumonia. It can detect Parkinson's disease, which requires the users to upload their spiral or wave tests. It can also detect COVID-19, which requires the user to upload their CT scans. It can detect brain tumor. It can also detect breast cancer. So this is our motive here, and this is how we made this. Now let's click on the Get Started button, and I would request Archit to take over now.
This is the second screen of our app. It shows all the diseases which can be detected by the Aid AI. The user can select from the following options and get a diagnosis.
This is an example of when a user wants to diagnose himself or herself with brain tumor. So they have to upload their MRI scan here after clicking on choose file. Now here's an example of image samples containing brain tumor images. The user just has to upload them. Click on upload here and the result will be declared within a few seconds. As you can see, the result has been declared. Unfortunately, ADI thinks that you might have brain tumor. You should consult a doctor as soon as possible. Now let's check if it can detect a healthy brain. So we go on the image samples containing healthy brain images and then upload one of the images. The result should be up in a few seconds. And there you see, you have a healthy brain. So this is how it works. This is an example of when a user wants to diagnose himself or herself with COVID-19. So first off, they have to choose a file and upload their CT scans. For now, let's take the example of a COVID positive CT scan. The user has to upload it and the result will be up in a few seconds. And there you have it. Unfortunately, ADI thinks that you might have COVID-19. You should consult a doctor as soon as possible.
We found out that there is a huge gap between the number of patients and the number of doctors. Hence, the diagnosis of the diseases is getting delayed and further delays the cure. We read articles about the growing technology of artificial intelligence helping in the healthcare sector. We got inspired and started thinking of solutions.
TensorFlow was a solution. TensorFlow is a free and open source software library for machine learning developed by Google. To train a model, we needed the datasets of various diseases. We found most of our datasets on trusted sites like Kaggle.
We trained the AI models using teachable machines with Google.com. To make it more user-friendly and efficient, we adapted it in the form of a website using HTML and Python. Afterwards, we tried to get feedback from the community and the industry on the following project.